name is Sarah. I am a licensed massage therapist. Since 2011, I also run my own small company that schedules other therapists to do sessions in high-end luxury buildings throughout Manhattan and Brooklyn. I am also a mom of three, and yeah.
Yes, mama three. All right. So, what inspired you to purchase a rental property as your first home?
So originally purchasing a rental property was not the goal. The goal was to get out of renting out of the apartment situation. But then my husband saw some things on social media and it just seemed like a better fit for us to go to the multifamily route. Just because I have a very physical job, so I can't maintain the volume that I'm doing now, let's say in like 5-10 years. So Queen prepared me for this process, I want to say starting before 2020, just to get my finances in order. And in getting my finances in order, meaning like paying down debt, understanding which debt to pay down first, what things, are absolutely necessary and others that are like, okay, we don't need this every month. She helped me put into perspective what I should be tackling. So that way, when it came time for the bank to look at, what I owe, what I don't owe, the debt to ratio, I was able to have a lot more money, higher purchasing power. Okay. So the biggest thing was the location. I wanted to stay in the Bronx, and being that we have our kids, they're all in school, we didn't want to uproot them. But then seeing the property after I don't know how many other properties we looked at, this was the only one that was completely renovated top to bottom, inside out. So that meant, it wouldn't be coming with any pre-existing issues per se. I want to say the biggest one was the snowballing when it came to tackling the debt. So we took care of the smaller guys. And then once that was done, whatever I was paying on the smaller bills was now combined with the larger bills to get rid of those quicker. And then being able to save became a realistic goal that we were able to do. So we decided to go the NACA route. And we did look at some grants, but because of the price of the house, that pretty much eliminated us from all of the grants that were open to first-time home buyers. But with NACA, we were not responsible for the down payment. We were not responsible for the lawyer fees, the taxes, anything like that. It was really just making sure we had, I think it was a year's worth of homeowner insurance, like the first 2.5 months of mortgage in our savings. Yeah. So not only did Queen help me understand financially how to get from being a renter to a homeowner, but this whole process is emotionally taxing. Just from all the no's and all the unknowns, the amount of anxiety and what ifs. So she helped kind of ground me and understand, this could happen, that could happen, or you want to do this, or, don't even bother with that. Is not worth it, because of her knowledge. With her time with National Grid helped a lot, especially with looking at homes in the Bronx, because a lot of these homes are over 100 years old. So emotionally and financially, she helped. All right, so we have a 3-family property. The asking price was $1,170,000. We were able to knock down $10,000. So the first unit it was a 3-bedroom, but we made it into a 2-bedroom with an office for my husband's company, which he does the embroidery and merchandising. We live in the middle unit, and then the top unit is a 4-bedroom. And again, everything is brand new. So it has central AC, central heating. We have a top of the line security system. We have a backyard with a private dead end street. So that, that's pretty nice, especially being in the Bronx. It's nice to just have a little bit of quiet away from all the noise and folks that are, around, because we are in Fordham. So that's a pretty busy area of the Bronx, a lot of stores, a lot of shopping. So we're also near a lot of transportation, schools, universities. It's just a nice little place to, sink our roots into. And hopefully our kids will continue to take care of this property and so on and so forth. So having a rental property is a different, I don't know how to put this into words, like a different way of living, right? Because if something needs to be fixed, if something needs to be added, you want it to be top of the line because it's yours forever. But then also having the income from the rental, from the units, I don't have to work so hard, or the weeks where I get extra commission that can go now into a savings to, okay, I can put my little one in ballet, or this one in this music or baseball. So there are more options and opportunities I can provide, not just for myself, but for the kids. It covers almost the full mortgage. We're paying a little bit less than $1,000, and then you got to throw in the con ed for the common areas. And one of our units is a voucher. So with vouchers, as the landlord, you have the option to accept the full voucher and pay con ed for them, or you accept a portion of the voucher and they're responsible for the con ed. We've chosen to accept the full voucher and play con ed. Our next goal is to get solar panels, so that way the house is fully efficient on its own. So we purchased the house the end of October 2024. We're now in January, so I haven't seen any positive cash flow yet. But I do want to take into account, like, I've been really sick, the kids have been sick, and if we were renting, we'd definitely be behind on the rent right now, just because I have a commission-based job. But being that, our responsibility is a lot smaller now, that weight is no longer there. That worry is not there. So in preparing the units for the rentals, you do a thorough cleaning, but also, again, for the vouchers, there is certain guidelines. They do require HPD or HRA to come and actually inspect the property. They measure the rooms. They have to be 80 square feet at least. The windows all have to have bars. So, everything they asked for, we did. So the first time they came to inspect, we passed with flying colors. There was a little hiccup it was 0.15 of an inch because of a baseboard, but they gave us the green light and said it was okay. We also did some background checks. We asked permission, of course, after each applicant filled out the application, just to see, their rental history. Why is it that they want to move? Like, what's their current situation? How many people are moving in, animals, and things like that. So it's, you got to do your homework, because the minimum we were looking for was a year. So we want to make sure we're not, chasing anyone or dealing with troublesome tenants, because, again, we live here with the kids. So Queen put us onto Door Loop, which helped create a bigger and better understanding of the different contracts that you can have with people, certain processes, how they work. It's really kind of idiot proof, but if you click and ask the questions, you can learn a lot. And then she also helped us in her own experience with her family living in a brownstone in Brooklyn, and just things to look out for, do, and stay away from. It's not a linear experience, and this is something I heard a lot throughout this process, is what's meant for you will be for you. And it's 1,000% true. I want to say we looked at over 20 houses. We were in contract with another home before we even saw this house. you got to keep your head up, have your community to vent to, ask questions. Don't do it alone. As far as like having the support, I'm not necessarily saying like you have to purchase a home with someone else, but you need somebody or a few people to lean on to when things get rough or like the big unknowns just start hitting you left and right. But it will happen. Just keep, pushing through and stay disciplined. Because if you purchase a car or something large while you're going through this process, your purchasing power will decrease, and that's heartbreaking. So discipline and community, I think. So of course, Candace, right? Because even before I knew I wanted a multifamily, I knew I wanted to get out of my rental situation. My husband and his business, Imagine Large, any embroidery merchandising needs you need, get him up. My mom, she was just an ear, because again, she has a co-op, which is a whole different process from purchasing a home. But every time something went left, I was calling her up like, Mom. And then just talking to my family members that are homeowners. They help me open my eyes and just kind of keep my head above water in this process, knowing that it's gonna happen. It's just, you got to be patient. So I think I didn't understand like how homes work or are supposed to work aside from what the inspector went through. But in living here, we've learned like our house is not well insulated. So that drives certain costs up, and it's something now that we want to pay for, so that way the house feels warmer than what it actually does, and then come summer it feels cooler. So I would say understanding the components of the home a little better would have helped, I think, put me in a better place, because there were also other homes that we saw that were like really crazy, and we could have avoided paying for an inspector to go, because we would have known, hey, this is beyond a fixer upper. This is a demolish and rebuilder. So YouTube University and just picking people's brains that own property, so you get a better understanding. It was the grants. Because there are a lot of grants out there, but you have to stay within the purchasing. So because our home was over $1 million, they were like, you can't get any grants. There's very few in the Bronx, but depending on the state that you're in, Queen kind of breaks it down and helps you have a better understanding of what to do, because there's money out there and that money needs to be used. So why not use it for yourself? I'm going to say the financial freedom and not having the worry of I'm gonna work forever. I'm gonna work till the day I die. Like I don't have that anymore. Like maybe a pipe's gonna burst. What am I gonna do? I'll call the plumber. But it's also inspired me to go to trade school for plumbing or electrical, just not only to fix stuff myself, but have an understanding of what's going on in the home. And what excites me is the space. So I can have more family over this Christmas. We're going to be hosting at my house. Growing up, it was always at my mom's. So that's a, exciting thing. And then the backyard. I've always wanted a backyard. Once it gets a little warmer, I do want to start growing some things. I mean, the cost of food is going up exponentially. So having the space and being able to grow is exciting for me. She's the best. There was, a gentle push to keep going, but not like, you need to do this. You need to do this. I knew I needed to do this. But the journey, like I said from the beginning, it's not linear. There's no, okay, step A, B, and C. For us, it was like step A, B, then 6 months, and then step C, and then the rest of the alphabet came, and we closed on the house. So just the push and the how do you say, the reassurance that you're doing things right, and possibly coming up with a backup plan, because at one point we weren't so sure about NACA because of how strict they are. But we pushed through and we did it.
You can do it. And Queen Candace got the blueprint. Understand the mind, get the money in line, making boss moves one step at a time. When a house, when a car, you can have that. Top notch credit just to match that. Any question that you have, just ask that. Cause all I know is life is what you make it.